The betrayal and deceit reached a fever pitch in the penultimate episode of the first season of MobLand, which might be the beginning of the end of the Harrigan crime empire. Conrad confronted cartel Lord Jaime Lopez, fulfilling Harry's second favor to the enigmatic and powerful Cat Mallister. Naturally, the Harrigan patriarch irritated him in typical Conrad fashion. As things stand, a deal might still go through, but only if Harry can get rid of the rat in the Harrigan family. Since Kevin was finally free to face Rusby, his former jailer and tormentor, he was noticeably missing from the negotiations. In order to carry out her own dubious schemes, his wife was likewise able to slink out of the Harrigan manor, ultimately at Conrad's invitation. Jan's friend Alice, the informant who now works for Colin Tatterall following the deaths of Fisk and Macasa at the end of episode 8, arrived at the manor for supper. Conrad and Maeve ended up handcuffed as the lunch collapsed with a huge reveal and was cut off by a tactical squadron with their backup. Instead of using a wire to send Alice inside Conrad's manor, Tatterall placed a listening device in her phone, which was much more dangerous for her health because of how readily it might be found. In the short time she was there, she never received a complete admission of guilt or confirmation of any criminal behavior, but that was never her real objective. In order to aid in their conviction, she was there to extract DNA from Conrad, Maeve, or both, if at all feasible. It was suspicion of murder that led to their arrest. The authorities did not yet have hard proof, but Alice and Tatterall's ultimate goal was to produce the proof they required to permanently imprison Conrad and Maeve. Tatterall disclosed that he was aware Alice, whose true name is clearly Nicola, had twice accepted payment to assist in the planting of DNA evidence that could have implicated criminals. Their strategy for the Harrigans is to get them arrested and then fabricate evidence to get them imprisoned, which implies that Tatterall and Alice/Nicola are both okay with breaking the law to get someone rightfully condemned. That strategy has an intriguing twist in that Tatterall is collaborating closely with Richie Stevenson, who is really in charge. Richie wants Colin to get Conrad and Maeve into any type of jail so he can kill them himself. He has no intention of letting them rot away in a cell. Richie was more than happy to work with a dishonest detective like Tatterall to finally get his retribution, because Conrad and Maeve had both his son's and wife's blood on their hands. Maeve joyfully bursts in a song as they are being dragged from their house, and Conrad quickly follows. A traditional Irish folk ballad called 20 Men from Dublin, penned by Arthur Griffith in the early 1900s, is the song they sing together as they are placed onto police vehicles. Maeve and Conrad would have grown up listening to this well-known combat song in Ireland, which alludes to the Irish guerrilla insurrectionists who fought the British Crown in the Irish Rebellion of 1798. It's a statement of defiance against the cops for them. Now that she's recovered from her ordeal with Jaime Lopez, Seraphina practically serves as her father's right hand. During supper, Conrad first asked Alice to dinner because he had doubts about her motivations. Later in the episode, when they are in their sauna together, Maeve even asks him directly whether he believes she is an informant. But it is Seraphina, not Conrad, who questions Alice to learn more about her motivations. It demonstrates her undying devotion to her father, who cherishes her beyond all of his children. For most of the first season of MobLand, Maeve's ultimate goal has been hidden, but it now appears that the production did this on purpose. Apart from causing mayhem that ends up at Conrad's feet, Maeve might not really have a clear goal. Just before they are detained, she effectively acknowledges that she is doing everything she can to undermine his position and destabilize him in general by brandishing sharp things at him. She realized it would simply put more pressure on Conrad, so she told the police about Archie. Although it wasn't explicitly stated in episode 9, it was made abundantly evident from the context that Harry killed Freddie in episode 8 after discovering who Richie Stevenson was, the rat in the Harrigan family's criminal enterprise. Harry promptly calls the Harrigan's attorney, O'Hara Delaney, after finding out that the agreement with Jaime Lopez is contingent upon the rat in the Harrigan residence being dealt with. He says he's dealing with something fast when Seraphina asks what he's doing. By confirming that the agreement with Jaime is in place, he encourages O'Hara to believe that Archie was correct to leave fentanyl to Richie. That essentially proves that she was working with Richie, and Harry appears to have been merely verifying what Freddie had told him. It's likely that O'Hara won't quit the meeting if she shows up when he invites her to meet with him in the morning to discuss the situation. At the end of episode 9, there's still so many unanswered questions that they cannot possibly finish everything in a single episode. It appears that MobLand will at least receive a second season, if not more, although scheduling conflicts with the well-known cast will undoubtedly be a problem. The streaming hit's overwhelming popularity suggests that a second season is almost a certainty. Additionally, Harry and Kat are scheduled to meet, most likely to talk about the first favor he owes her. Given Harry's repeated cautions against her involvement, Bella's plan involving a Syrian arms dealer, the Home Secretary, her father, and Antoine is likely to be exposed, but could end badly for her. After the armed police raid that she and her daughter had to go through as a result of her husband's work, we might see that Jan has reached her breaking point. It's safe to assume that the MobLand season finale will be explosive and that there will be a significant number of deaths.